Hello, my beautiful collective. Elsie here to do a reading for you, my friends. It is a reading for the new moon in Capricorn, which is happening tomorrow, by the way, January the 11th of 2024. This moon is going to, of course, affect everybody, as the moon does, but the effects are going to be most noticeable for the cardinal signs and the mutable signs. And the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, while the cardinal signs, which are the signs that usher in the seasons, are the Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn signs. So it is going to be most profound for the cardinal signs because Saturn was transiting through Capricorn in December of 2020. Anything that was left undone around that time is what's happening now. The cardinal signs will be closing some chapters here. So it's a return to these energies. So the cardinals can close these chapters, no matter what kind of chapters they were that were left open, love or otherwise. And so it is, it's going to impact the cardinal nodes as well. So if you have a south node or a north node in Aries, Libra, or Cancer, or Capricorn, you could be affected as well. You might want to just take to the internet and read up a little bit more if you're unsure of what's going on. All right. So whenever I do a moon reading, we do use the moonology. Let's do that. Let's find out what's coming up in this new moon energy. New moons are new beginnings, my friends. Full moons are closures and new moons are new beginnings. And so this is why everything must come to a resolution, I guess, so we can have some new beginnings here. All right, here we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about you. We've got, look at the bigger picture. We do have Sagittarius. There you go. Sagittarius, you are a cardinal sign, right? We do have faith in your dreams. So whatever it is that you have that is coming up, feeling like you want to start a new beginning possibly in something, anything, a job, a relationship, maybe a new home, have faith in your dreams here. We do have action. I like it. Right next to the full moon in Sagittarius, we have action. And then we have release. Look, I can't even write that stuff. Wow. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have pleasure. So I feel like it really is exactly what I talked about, right? It's about releasing things, closing chapters. When the new moon comes, it'll be new beginnings here, right? Look at the bigger picture here. What do we have on the bottom of the deck? We have you and your loved ones are safe. We have it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. There is another cardinal sign. So let's find out what's going on here. It does seem like with the full moon in Sagittarius, look at the bigger picture. It feels like somebody is supposed to take action. So if you are someone who is a cardinal sign or a mutable sign, it feels like you were supposed to take action. Of course, Sagittarius, you are a mutable sign, so we could be talking about you. It feels like it is time to take action, have faith in your dreams, and releasing what it is that you no longer need. Let's talk about some tarot. Let's find out what's happening with tarot. All right. Talking about the new moon in Capricorn. Let's find out what this reading is about. I'm just going to call out all the signs and symbols, my friends. This is an all signs reading, and that means that it's not for your sign. It is for all signs. And it means anybody who logs in here who is any of the signs might get some benefit from this reading. Let's find out what's going on here. Tell me about the new moon energy tomorrow, January the 11th. We're probably already in that shadow energy here. Okay, yeah. We'll do that. We've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse here. Tell me more. Feels like somebody in the past was not clear on whether a commitment is over or not. That's what it feels like. Look at that. Gosh, these are strong energies. Wow. So it's time to move ahead. If you were somebody who was unclear about a commitment in the past, or somebody who you are not speaking with, that you is maybe a Taurus, maybe a Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, or Leo, possibly a Gemini energy. We have the Devil. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Three of Pentacles. Look at that. Wow. We've got the High Priestess. High Priestess energy is in the distance. You're going to have to rely on your gut. So for those of you who are not connected to your intuition, I oftentimes see somebody in the comments saying, well, what does that mean? The thing is that I drop the cards and I give you my interpretation, but it is your perception. And that's why I can't answer your questions, because you have to learn to answer your questions yourself as it pertains to your intuition. What is the reading telling you? Don't try and make it fit. This is a general reading, and please don't try and make it fit. Okay, so it does feel as though there is some action that needs to be taken here, absolutely, because there is something here that feels like it's unfinished or answers had not come. We're not really sure. We may have broken away from some sort of a commitment because we felt it was toxic or it wasn't working out. Maybe there was doubts. There could have been, maybe it was a connection of seduction. I do see this this Ace of Swords. It's very interesting because it is the Ace of Swords, but it's on fire. So it feels like it is sort of a, I do feel some fire energy here as well. It feels like this was a connection in the past, I want to say. This was a connection that was very fiery, but there wasn't a whole lot of talking. I feel like it was mostly connection through fire. So through passion, through physical connection. And it may or may not have led to some sort of a commitment. And if it did, it may have turned out to be some sort of a toxic commitment. So you could have maybe were thinking about getting into a commitment with this person, but maybe you found out that they had some sort of toxicity. It could be an addiction of some kind. It could be something that they do obsessively that was not benefiting their life. It's like somebody who is fixated on one thing that they keep doing over and over again, and something that wasn't really good for their life here. I feel like either you were committed to that person or were entertaining a commitment to that person. Since then, I feel like some of you have moved along. You found your happiness. You found your wish fulfillment, or you are happy being by yourself, whether you're single or in a commitment. But it feels like you might have stayed friends with this person, or maybe the door was just left open. It almost feels like unfinished business, but I don't have anything here that says really that it was unfinished business. It also doesn't say that it was a closed door, though. So some of you may have remained in contact with the Three of Pentacles here. Maybe you didn't want to let go. Possibly you thought that, we could just keep the door open here, even though this person is in some toxicity, that maybe we can leave the door open and still keep talking, but I don't think that really happened. And if you do get communication from this person, it feels like you may have held on to them because they have a piece of your heart, or because you didn't really want to let them go. You may still be connected to those energies. For those of you who are the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, I feel like you're probably the ones that I'm talking about the most as it pertains to relationships, because it feels like you left some doors open or things were left unsaid. Possibly you thought it was too toxic to continue on. It could have, maybe you left the door open for friendship, but maybe that's it. It feels like. Let's clarify a little bit here. Oh, should we use these? Just listening. Hang on. Okay. Let's do these. All right, here we go. Sorry, got someone's buckled here. All right. Look at the bigger picture. So it is time to look at the bigger picture, my friends. It's time to look at how this energy that is unfinished business from the past, how it is going to factor into your life, or is it? It feels like it's something that you need to look at closer. When you look at the bigger picture, I'm a photographer, and so I always think about the wide angle lens that I use. And when I pull back on that, it gets detail. The whole picture gets detail. I'm not just focused on one thing. So it looks like you need to pull back a little bit and see the situation for what it is. And it's time to take action on whatever it is that you see in the bigger picture here. There is action that needs to be taken here. Tell me what's going on. So, first card out, we do have the Judgment, yeah. So you obviously are going to have to go back to somewhere. You're going to have to go back in time, or not really back in time, but back to a situation that didn't have closure. And I don't think you have to. That's the thing. I feel like your gut's going to tell you that I can't leave this undone. It's like it's going to gnaw at you. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Things are moving forward in a fortunate way, and it's time for big change that will make you happy. So it's for those of you who are currently in a commitment, it's almost like something is back there and you need to bring it to the present so you can close the door on that thing once and for all. But we do have the Judgment card, which indicates that you will be making some really big decisions over the new moon. And for some of you, somebody might come back to try again, or you might go back just to close the door. And so when I say reconciliation, for some of you, you think that reconciliation means, oh, we're going to get back together and be in love. And that's not what reconciliation is. You reconcile. It means we talk about it, we figure it out. People say, what's the point of that? Well, because some people don't like that energy hanging out there. That's why. Some people want to have closed doors. For some of you, it's going to be about the Ace of Cups, that maybe there was somebody back there. Like I said, it felt like here that there was somebody that you let go. Possibly a situation that you left open. You left the door open. Maybe you two just stopped talking and went on your way, but the door was left open. This is probably something that happened 4 years ago, like back in December of 2020. Think of what you were doing then. And then we have the High Priestess, right, which is right here. So we do have look at the bigger picture. And I feel like the High Priestess is able to do that from the bird's eye view, right? It's be able to look at it from the top down and figure it out. But again, I feel like your gut, your intuition is telling you that it's time for you to look at the bigger picture, and it's time for you to take some action on closing something here. Something that I feel that is bothering you. And so if it's not bothering you and it's done, right? I'm not saying that you got to go back, but somebody may not feel like they're done with you. I'm just saying with the Judgment card here, right? We might end up going toward somebody just to get, just to talk things out and close the door, just to, make sure that it is closed. Because some of you might be getting into commitments and you don't want this stuff. You don't want this stuff hanging around while you're trying to figure out your big commitment, right? You've got to close doors. There's the World card. All right, let's see what's flipped about here. We've got the Ten of Wands, taking action on releasing the burdens, right? Excuse me. On releasing things, letting go of things that have, I feel like for some of you, not all of you, it's a general reading, remember, this may not be your reading, but I feel like if this is resonating with you, there is something back there. And it is pointing into the past, right? The Ten of Wands is pointing into the past. It feels like it's something you still carry with you. And it feels like something you need to take action on in order to fix things. It was a hard ending. It looks like it was maybe heartbreaking or disappointing, something that you still think about, because swords are not about the heart. As much as we want to say it's heartbreaking, swords are not about the heart. They're about the mind. So I feel like it was something that you still haven't let go from the mind, but it may be something that is also affecting the heart. It might be something that you're journaling about here. We do have, there is a heart on the table here, and that's where the swords are in. So possibly it was a heartbreaking situation, but it does feel like somebody here needs to wrap something up or get it out of their head. That's what the journal is for, right? Journaling is exactly what we're talking about. And there's the other card. We've got the Ace of Wands. Yeah, it's about taking action. Absolutely. Taking action, and the Ace of Wands, right? Aries energy. And we're talking about the cardinal signs having the most profound change. So it's going to be change for everybody. There's going to be things that will happen for everybody, but I think it's going to be most profound for the cardinal signs and the cardinal nodes. So South Node, North Node. If you have a cardinal sign in the South Node or the North Node, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. All right. Have faith in your dreams. So I feel like it may be something that is encroaching on your dreams, something you're dreaming about. Like when you have to close a door that you've left open energetically, it will continue to poke at you until you finally take the moment that you need to close the door. So have faith in your dreams tells me that I feel like if you've been having dreams about closing doors with somebody, this is probably why. We do have the Six of Swords, yeah. So we're walking away, right? I need to close this. I need to stop with the chaotic thoughts, because that's swords, right? I need to stop with the chaotic thoughts, and I need to I need to close out whatever is left open. And we have here unfinished business. That's exactly what we're talking about. So whatever unfinished business you had back there in 2020 in December, the door needs to be closed. Look, we've got the devil again. And we were talking about the devil down here. It feels like somebody decided that this situation is too toxic. That person's too toxic for me. I'm just going to slowly take my foot off the gas and back away. Like I'm not gonna engage with them anymore. And so that's what it feels like here. We have unfinished business with some sort of toxicity or an obsessive behavior or an obsessive thought, because we do have the Six of Swords here. So it feels like it's infiltrating your dreams. It feels like it's infiltrating everything. And this is going to be your feeling. You're going to have a feeling that you just need to close that door. You might want to contact that person and say, I know we left things undone, but I just want to make sure that, everything is good, that we're not going to have hardships between us. That's what it feels like is going on here. Tell me about the release. Tell me what the collective is going to be releasing, please. Tell me what the collective is going to be releasing. Tell me what the collective is going to be releasing, please. You're going to be releasing sadness. There we go. So any hardships, any sadness, anything that you're still feeling about the past, this card is pointing into the past energy, and it is about past regrets. Some of you might have regrets about the way it ended. Look, I feel like if you're one of the people who left it open, it feels like that this person was your friend, and that this could be a romantic situation. It could be. It doesn't have to be. But it does feel like it's something about Pentacle Whirls. For some of you, it could be a door you left open about financial things, that you didn't pay off a loan. I don't know what it is, but it could be something that is financial. Of course, that the door has been left open on, that it's been left open too long. Maybe it's been a long time since you really even looked at this debt to take care of it. I feel like it's that as well. But with the Five of Cups, it's whatever is upsetting you, whatever is, the Three Cups are poured out here. And it feels like it's time to close this door. What I think that some of you may not see is as you go to this person, or they come back around to release this, there is Two Cups sitting on the table, I'm just going to say. So for some of you, this could end up in some sort of a love reconciliation, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be love, though. We have the Knight of Cups. So there is for someone here, you were in a relationship that was romantic here. There was a romantic connection that fell into disrepair, whatever that might mean to you. It didn't work out. Somebody moved away from the situation. It was time to heal it. We needed to heal it. And it feels like somebody released another person, but they didn't really heal it. We just stopped working on it. The Eight of Pentacles is in the reverse. We just stopped working on it. We didn't heal it. We didn't close the door. There's unfinished business. It was toxic. I backed away. I figured was just going to stop answering texts. And now all of that energy is coming back up again. It's time for you to close the door, my cardinal signs, on something that has been open or bothering you since December of 2020. All right. I feel like with the Hierophant here that some of you are learning a lesson, that this is happening because it's time for you to learn a lesson. It's time for you to learn a lesson that you can't just leave it open. You got to close the door. It's the only way to have an ending so you can have a new beginning. So for those of you who still have this sort of floating about, but you're already in a new connection, and maybe that new connection, maybe you're still dragging energies in from old situations that you never closed the door on, things that happened back there that you don't want to happen in the new relationship. Also, if it's someone you had children with, or someone that you had owned a house with, possibly something like that, that also is an unopened door here. But I want to say that for some of you, you are already in a new commitment, or thinking about getting into a new commitment and possibly moving forward. Like maybe you are moving forward to marriage, or moving forward to moving in, or whatever that is. The Wheel of Fortune is here to say that there's a lot of change that will take place in your commitment. So it feels like closing doors is just going to be that. You need endings in order to have new beginnings. And I think that for those of you who are ready to get married, or who are thinking about getting engaged or going to the next level, it feels like this is a lesson that you must learn. Karmic lessons, they always come back, y'all. If you don't close those doors, they keep coming back to you. Those situations keep coming back until you find a way to close the door So I feel like, the reason that, said here, the reason that that we didn't end up really giving it an official we're broken up, or maybe it's a separation that never yet went into divorce. It could be that as well. We have to close those energetic doors because they stop us from moving forward. Tell me why the Ace of Swords is here in the reverse, please. Tell me why the Ace of Swords is here in the reverse. Woo, okay. Keeps giving me 4 cards here. Yeah, we hung around on it, right? It's something that we just never, we never talked about again. It's like you continually think about that. You think about the last conversation. You think about the other person. You're trying to see it from their side. Whether they were wrong or whether they were right, it doesn't matter. But it feels like it's something that still kind of haunts you. You're still stuck back there. In your mind, you're still stuck back there. For some of you, you could have been dealing with someone who is an Emperor in reverse. Maybe you were the Emperor in reverse back there. And back in 2020, think about that, right? We were going through the height of the pandemic, right? So there was a lot of things, a lot of relationships that were breaking up. And that whole situation that happened back then, I feel was very instrumental in getting a lot of people to really look at and realize where their lives were at, where they were going. So for somebody here, you just backed away from this person because the Emperor in reverse is hard to handle. Someone who is really cantankerous and argumentative, and someone who will try and force things, and someone who thinks they're the boss, you must obey. And it feels like somebody here is, whoever's connecting to this reading is thinking, yeah, it ended up like in a crash and burn. We have the 5 of Swords in the reverse. And so you don't want to fight anymore with this, but you do want to close the door. There's no love left here. So as I say, it couldn't be reconciliation, right? There's a Judgment card here. It could be reconciliation, but not the way that most people think there's a reconciliation, because I don't think there's any love left here. I don't think these two people are in love, but I also feel that if you don't take care of it and close the door, it could bleed into your new commitment. Tell me why the Devil is here. Because there needs to be healing. There needs to be healing in order for you to carry on to this commitment here. There must be healing. We have Temperance here, which is bringing things into balance. Knight of Wands is pointed into the past. So it feels like it's something that you do want to embark on. It feels like it is something that you want to move toward here. Some of you are going back to it, or gonna go back to it and reconcile, because you want to see if there's any love left here before you decide to look out there and take this Wheel of Fortune energy with this commitment. Tell me about the Hierophant. Because it's really important to learn lessons in life, right? And for those people who are not learning lessons, they're coming up against hardships constantly in relationships, in jobs, and in friendships, in family relationships, constantly coming up against hardships. So we have the 9 of Cups. We have the 9 of Wands. One more. We have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, it's like I need to close one door before I open the next door. That's what it feels like. Somebody just wants to close whatever went on back there. There were a lot of relationships, marriages that broke up around that time. A lot of people were forced into the home, had to stay home, and you had to work, eat, sleep in the same few square feet, right? If you were lucky enough to have a big enough house to have your own space, but for those who didn't have their own space, and even if you did, I feel like it's something that needs to come. You need to close this cycle because it's wearing on you. It's exhausting you. It's like it's something that you just can't seem to let go of. And in order to have happiness with the 9 of Cups, you must learn this lesson. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune, please. The Wheel of Fortune brings up, there it is, the Hierophant. Yep, it's the lesson that you are taking forward into the future here. And you can't start again or learn this lesson unless you get out of your head. You have to put action into it instead of just thinking about it. So if you're going to move on to your wish fulfillment, and there's changes here, fortunate changes, but change nonetheless. If you are somebody who has a hard time with change, because this is fixed energy, fixed signs, you're kind of off the hook for super intense and transformational energy this time. You've had a hard go of it in the last couple of, I would say last year or so, but we do have the Star, which means it's now healed. We can heal the 8 swords. We can get out of that energy. We can now start manifesting again. The Hierophant is here, made it to the other side of the Wheel of Fortune. Feels like we're moving into the future, into happiness, and possibly into friendship. Like some of you might just go back there and say, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but can we be friends? And this could be people who are separated and not yet divorced, that have children together. Maybe you have a hard time co-parenting. Tell me about the 3 of Pentacles, please. We have the 5 of Wands. Somebody is fighting themselves inwardly, feeling hesitant about moving forward here. The Knight of Swords tells me that somebody might just decide to do it, might just bite the bullet and go here. The Knight of Swords is the one who is very direct and who's decided they're going to move forward. They're very brave and courageous, right, about the things that they say. It's time to liberate yourself from this situation, from this friendship or whatever kind of ship it is. We do have courage in the reverse here, or strength in the reverse. So it feels like somebody is going to whip out the sword here. We're no longer going to keep it in the sheath, is what I want to say. It's time to whip out the sword, say something, and liberate yourself. The Queen of Swords is here. And when the Queen of Swords is here with the Knight of Swords, it feels to me like the Queen is going to be a little more aggressive than usual, I want to say, because the Knight of Swords is the one that's very impatient and forceful and rebellious, courageous. But I feel like somebody's going to find the courage to finally just lay it out. Look, just stay out of my life, okay? I'm going to give you the divorce. Just stay out of my life. Like it feels like it's that kind of energy. Somebody here who is trying to find the courage to do that, or to say, look, can we just co-parent together? Can we just get along? I think that's what it is here. We do have the 2 of Wands, and then we just need to carry on into the future. So I do feel like for some of you that this is exactly what it's saying. There is unfinished business with some sort of toxic situation, or that you had pulled away from back possibly in around 2020, I guess in December. That's probably when it was coming to its worst. It feels like that we just pulled away, or I cut you off, or we blocked each other, and now it's kind of like bubbling or gurgling, or somebody's trying to get a hold of you through other avenues, talking to friends, talking to people that know you. It's like if you don't take care of it right now, it's going to end up being ugly. It's going to end up being really ugly. All right, so let's get you a little bit of advice here, and let's get you out of here. Let's get some advice, please, for the collective about the new moon energies. And once you close all of this down, it just allows you to move into this change here in a better state of mind, healed, and having learned a lesson, right? Having learned a lesson. And I always say, like, you can't really move on unless you close the door, because it is the ending that brings the beginning. So even if you're in a relationship now, it's like it might be, you haven't learned the lesson yet. So it could very much crash and burn like the last one. Lessons are important. They're so important. It's the advice. We've got recognition that you have to close the door, right? It says admiration for your hard work is coming. So I feel like some of you, when you go back, right, with the Judgment card, when you go back to talk about the Ace of Cups, some of you are going to be received really well. Some of you are going to have, the other person is going to admire you or say, thank you for coming back and talking about this, because I didn't know how to approach you. We've got a twin flame. For some of you, it could be a twin relationship. And look, I'm in favor of you letting go of that twin relationship that does nothing but terrorize you. And if it doesn't feel good, my friends, let it go. And the spiritual connection between you and your twin flame, it says, we have fear. Some of you just don't want to have anything to do with it anymore, right? You're just recognizing the twin flame thing is not for you. You just want to meet your soulmate and carry on into, because soulmate relationships are easy, right? It's like you've learned enough lessons and now you're back and forth. I mean, as long as your soulmate is someone who's willing to grow with you and heal as well. We have deception. We have pay attention. We have wisdom, creativity, dedication, and happiness. Look at that. Wisdom leads to happiness. And I feel like for some of you, not all of you, of course, there was a deception. Somebody lied to you, or there was a false illusion or scarcity mentality. I'm not enough. I couldn't be enough. I couldn't be for you enough. I don't feel like enough. Pay attention is at the heart here. So look out for signs from the divine and acknowledge red flags. I feel like for some of you who are supposed to be closing these doors, you're probably being pelted by signs and synchronicities right now. And you think that they mean that new love is coming, but maybe the signs and synchronicities are telling you it's time to close old doors. If you don't close the energetic door, you can't have a new energetic door open. And I think a lot of people kind of sort of breeze over that a little bit here. So I feel like you will have a creative way here of giving this person recognition. For those of you, it feels like somebody here doesn't want to really start up a new relationship, but it says here that you are getting a lot of signs. And so I suggest to you when you get the sign, and please, not just on the clock. You can train your brain to look at the clock every hour. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on billboards, on a card tag, on a receipt, something you don't expect. And if you're seeing them everywhere, I don't mean on the clock every hour. That is the wisdom that it's time for you to tackle this fear and get some happiness. Because what lies between fear and happiness is wisdom. You have to make sure that you are moving forward in a very healthy way, learning your lessons, right? That's the reason that the Hierophant shows up, to tell you that a lesson has been learned here. So dedication, pay attention, dedication. So when the number comes up, and it's been coming up a lot, what are you thinking about at that moment? What are you thinking about? Who are you thinking about? That's what you're supposed to be doing. It's not always because you have a love connection coming. Be open to change, and that's the Wheel of Fortune. Be open to change. Be receptive to new experiences. Change leads to growth. A lot of us don't like change, and so we never grow because someone else is in the midst of our karma with their nose pointed into our karma, right? You can't be running in to save people every time they're having a problem because they don't learn their lesson, but I think you have. And that's pretty beautiful. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for watching here. And I'm going to go for now. I'm out, and happy new moon to you. Bye-bye.